Hey guys, welcome to the channel again. I just imported like almost an hour and a half of footage and only got 17 minutes out of it, so that's disgusting. But we have another just doing random stuff in Animal Jam video, so that's fun. I think in these videos, instead of just like narrating everything that happens, I might lean towards more of a talking about whatever I want type of model. So I guess if I'm just going to be rambling for a while, the first thing I can get into is something Animal Jam related, because that's kind of what you're here for. I'm sure most of you have seen the new update for September, like they released the beta den and some other stuff, which is really cool. I thought it was pretty cool for like a 15-year anniversary, but I do have a bit of a critique. I do have a bit of a complaint, and I don't like getting into a habit of complaining, but it's okay, this is my opinion. So when the teasers were released, people were excited about two things. Mainly two things. Number one, the beta den. Number two, the whiteout hood and spike collar. And when I saw those things, I was like, wow, this is such a great idea. Not only are you releasing a beta den, which is super nostalgic and great for a 15th birthday type thing, you're also releasing whiteout items, which are things that people have been wanting and anticipating for a long time, to my knowledge. People are really into blackout items, and doing whiteout items is just kind of like the natural response. Like, they're already very popular. People like black and white items. It's cool that they're finally going into that territory. Oh, and also they were non-members, so that was really cool. But then it was revealed that those were going to be contest items. This is what I have personal beef with, sort of. Two things. Number one, contest items usually have a specific look to them. Like, they're neon, monochromatic, most of them. I can't think of any exceptions off the top of my head, but they're like really bright colors. So the whole whiteout thing doesn't really fit it doesn't really fit the look of what I usually think of as contest items. There are some promotional items that I'm not really well versed in. I haven't been here for a long time yet. I think I came back to the game around July. But from what I can tell, this is not what contest items usually look like. Two, of all things to make a contest item, why pick the thing that would be so highly anticipated? Like I said earlier, blackout items were already like a very, very popular thing. Like, if they're a wild weekend, that's the one people are going crazy for, Also, I've seen people suggest whiteout items all the time. Why would you make something so wanted and something that would be so popular, so inaccessible? Because like with normal contest items, they're like cool, but there's like a specific audience of people that likes them. And sometimes I've seen people say they could be hard to trade away because like the audience that likes them is kind of smaller. They're cool, but like they're not for everybody, right? But the whiteout ones, like, these are such a highly anticipated thing that like I just think it would be cooler to make them more accessible, especially as a 15th birthday party, 15th year anniversary thing for Animal Jam. I just think that would have been a really cool way to say thank you to everybody by not only making something that's so highly anticipated, but also making them non-member and therefore more accessible to every player in the game, I'm not sure if this decision was them being disconnected with the player base to where they wouldn't realize that everyone would be so interested in these things, or that they knew that whiteout items would be highly anticipated and they thought that making them contest items would make them more hype. But with how popular I know these are going to be to whoever gets them, and how much their worth is probably going to inflate, it's just kind of a bummer. It's a little bit of a bummer because I feel like they had the opportunity to do something really cool here and they just kind of chose not to do that. Going into this, I got a tarot reading from someone in Animal Jam. I thought that was really cool. I know I said I wanted to talk about more general things as opposed to narrating what I was doing, but I feel like this required a little additional context. I don't know if they're still doing them. It's been a while since I've taken this clip, but if they are, they basically charge $1 diamond each and they give you a reading. I thought this was pretty creative as opposed to a lot of the other shops I see. Speaking of shops, you might notice that my username is a bit different here, and that's because I made an alt account simply for shops. The irony of this is that in one of my last videos like this, I was just saying I don't want a bunch of alts, but I felt like this one had a purpose, alright? Basically, I don't want a bunch of stuff that I don't want clogging my inventory, for one. Two, shops do this glitch thing where if you don't sign off after trading and you open a shop, oftentimes it'll just kick out a bunch of your items from the shop, which is really fucking annoying, and I didn't want to deal with it anymore. So this was what I did, and I do not regret it one bit. Additionally, I wanted to make my dens look more aesthetically pleasing, and to be honest, having shops in the middle of everything usually doesn't work out in my favor. And if it has the potential to work out in my favor, it doesn't matter because I'm not good enough at den decorating to actually make them mesh with everything else if I have a theme going on, you know what I mean? So I do have one in my den right now specifically for clothing betas that I'm selling for gems or whatever, but I'm not gonna have like a bunch of shops in my den now. And it's so awesome. And I don't have to worry about glitches. And I don't have to clog up my inventory. It's wonderful. So, would recommend. I guess another thing that we could talk about that's Animal Jam related is that I was thinking of doing like a big spike tier list based solely on aesthetics alone. But that would be kind of fun. I was also thinking of ranking all the shops around Jamaa. I've also been compiling a list of stuff people say about other players that I've seen that I think is kind of crazy into a list, and I was thinking of talking about those, but I'm kind of scared to do that because I think people might take it a little too seriously. An example of this would be some players acting like other players using shops in the game is some tremendous moral failing, as if this isn't a feature in the game that they're just allowed to use. And I'm not really saying that to rip on people that just so happen to yearn for a more nostalgic time. I'm more so critical of the people that are actively hostile to other people for playing the game a little bit differently than them. I know this is kind of just a product of people being on the internet, but I've noticed in this community several instances in which people use a pet peeve that would otherwise be harmless and turn it into a reason to start an argument. The more I talk about this, the more I realize that this topic is kind of exhausting and I probably don't want to make a video on it. My general sentiment is that as long as you aren't actively scamming people and bullying people and overall just being a jerk, you're probably fine. Anyone online and in your community will probably find a reason to hate you regardless. In other words, just do whatever is fun to you and ignore whatever people are having a pissing contest over on Discord. I guess another video I think would be cool to make would be like a profit trading video. I saw Voompire's video on it somewhat recently. I think it was like a month ago that they made one on it. But in one of my previous videos, I got a contest item and I traded that away for some solids that, and I mean, I don't need several solids, so I could either trade up for something I want, a phantom beanie, or I could trade down and then trade up again and get profit. I also do a lot of art and Littlest Pet Shop stuff, which isn't Animal Jam related, but this channel is more so just a do whatever I want type of project, so If you want me to only make Animal Jam content forever and ever and ever and ever and never do anything else, then this might not be the place for you. I'm gonna be honest. Not that I have any plans to stop playing the game anytime soon. I really like it and I like making videos about it. It's just that on every other platform that I have, I'm basically just an art person. So all I'm gonna say is that this channel has the potential of being kind of a mixed bag. Speaking of artwork, this is my new persona that I just designed. Say hi to Metals. Anyway, I can't think of anything else Animal Jam related to say, so I'm probably gonna switch over to music now. Just wanted to quickly say though, thank you very much for your support, all your comments, anyone that subscribed. Really appreciate it. Didn't expect so much. There's also some gifts I got throughout this video, some of which I don't know the origin of, so I'm assuming that maybe some of them were from here, because they all just kind of default to Animal Jam Rocks, and I have no context for any of them, so if anyone sent me a gift and you're watching, thank you, I appreciate you. And that's all I have to say. Subscribe if you're interested in more content like this, drop a comment with your opinions or whatever, and have a good one. Bye bye.